January 1st, 2026. FPV drone pilots from Russian Special Forces carried out strikes against Ukrainian infantry units in the Kursk Oblast and other active frontline sectors, targeting exposed personnel and disrupting enemy formations. Kupiansk direction, January 2026. In the Kupiansk sector, the first confirmed loss of an armored vehicle belonging to Kiev forces in 2026 has been attributed to the antagonist group. According to available footage and assessment, the strike resulted in a complete destruction of the tank following detonation, leaving no recoverable components at the site. The incident marks an early armored engagement of the new year in this direction and reflects the continued intensity of combat operations along the Kupiansk front. Happy New Year! Hello friend. Today, new footage Guliapole area. A military group from the Ukrainian 425th Separate Assault Regiment, consisting of 2 platoons of armored vehicles and a truck, launched a counterattack south of Guliapole. Units from the 38th Guards Motorized Rifle Brigade of the 35th Army, East Group, engaged the enemy. The attack resulted in the destruction of 1 armored vehicle, 1 pickup truck, and the neutralization of 14 soldiers. New footage, Maropole region. In the Maropole area, enemy forces advanced towards Severian positions using a Swedish-made CV-90 infantry fighting vehicle. The assault was halted by an initial FPV drone strike. A second fiber-optic drone engaged the same vehicle, destroying and setting it ablaze. Following the strike, the crew was systematically neutralized under continued FPV drone attacks. Calculations and targeting by the 15th Regiment proved highly effective. Russian drone operator tracked a 4-wheeled ATV as it forcefully moved along a snow-covered road. A Russian FPV team from the 106th Airborne Division engaged enemy vehicles on a snow-covered road. First, 2 pickup trucks were destroyed. Another pickup carrying Ukrainian Armed Forces infantry attempted to flee from the approaching FPV drone but failed, coming under direct engagement. In this new footage, a fiber-optic FPV drone operated by Russia's 25th Army targets an enemy pickup truck with infantry riding in the rear. The drone approaches the moving vehicle at low altitude and strikes it directly while the personnel are still on board. In this footage, fiber-optic FPV drone operators from the Vostok Group's 38th Guards Motor Rifle Brigade conduct strikes on UAF manpower and equipment northwest of Guliapole, near the village of Tsvetkovo. The drone moves at low altitude over open terrain, identifies groups of personnel and military equipment, and delivers precise strikes, hitting targets positioned along field paths and near cover in the area. In this footage, a Russian airborne troops fiber-optic FPV drone operator engages a UAF HMMWV in the Kupiansk direction. The drone tracks the vehicle as it moves along open terrain, maintaining a low-altitude approach to maximize targeting accuracy. As the HMMWV attempts to maneuver, the drone closes in and delivers a precise strike, disabling the vehicle and halting its movement. The footage captures both the approach and impact, highlighting the coordination between aerial reconnaissance and targeted engagement to neutralize enemy mobility on the battlefield. January 1st, 2026. Rubicon Collection Full Version. Here we go. Rubicon collections are already emerging on the very first day of the new year. This compilation brings together multiple episodes recorded across different sectors of the front, documenting continued combat activity involving unmanned systems from the opening hours of 2026. The footage reflects the persistent operational tempo, with drone crews conducting reconnaissance, tracking movement, and engaging confirmed targets under winter conditions. Across the featured segments, unmanned aerial platforms are used to monitor enemy logistics routes, detect concealed positions, and support strike operations against vehicles and fortified points. Snow-covered terrain, limited visibility, and damaged infrastructure form the backdrop, highlighting how modern warfare continues uninterrupted despite seasonal and calendar changes. The Rubicon collection emphasizes the growing role of UAV coordination, real-time battlefield awareness, and precision engagement, underscoring how drone warfare remains a decisive factor from the very first day of the new year. A Russian fiber-optic FPV drone intercepted a Ukrainian Baba Yaga-type loitering munition while it was deploying munitions against Russian positions, preventing the attack and neutralizing the threat. In this footage, a Russian VDV fiber-optic FPV drone equipped with thermal vision lies in ambush during nighttime operations. Using heat signatures, the drone detects two UAF soldiers walking across open terrain. As the pair moves forward, one thermal silhouette becomes clearly separated. The drone accelerates toward the target and strikes one of the soldiers, while the second figure is seen nearby as the impact occurs. The Archangel of the Special Forces appears as a symbolic figure, illuminated by a faint light sign against the darkness. The imagery emphasizes vigilance, protection, and resolve, often used to represent elite units operating in high-risk environments. The soft illumination highlights the emblem without revealing surrounding details, reinforcing the idea of presence without exposure and strength maintained under concealment. From the treeline, a Russian FPV drone lay in wait, scanning the terrain with silent precision. Moments later, it identified an opposing soldier moving on an ATV, exposing the target to the operator's control. The footage underscores the patience and effectiveness of Russian drone tactics, turning concealment into a decisive advantage on the battlefield. The Ukrainian soldiers had no time to understand what was unfolding. Work of the drone operators from the 16th Special Forces Brigade. The footage shows the disabling of a 120mm mortar and the destruction of a concealed enemy firing position on the Krasny-Lyman axis. More updates to come. Their operations continue with confidence in achieving their objectives. Happy New Year wishes from a military medal hero of Russia, the commander of the antagonist group, Sudoplatov. In his New Year address, the commander reflects on the past year and the challenges faced by personnel in active combat zones. He extends greetings to service members currently deployed, emphasizing resilience, discipline, and unity under difficult conditions. The message highlights the importance of professionalism, coordination, and mutual support, especially as operations continue through winter and into the new year. The address also includes words of appreciation for those working behind the scenes, technical specialists, logistics crews, and support units, whose efforts remain critical to sustaining operations. Looking ahead to 2026, the commander expresses confidence in continued effectiveness, adaptability, and the ability to carry out assigned tasks despite changing battlefield conditions. The message concludes with traditional New Year wishes for strength, health, and a safe return home, marking the transition into the new year while underscoring that operational duties continue without pause. 5 Ukrainian infantrymen were moving rapidly along a dirt road when a Russian FPV drone struck the top of their vehicle. However, the drone's warhead failed to detonate. Ukrainian forces experienced a fortunate outcome in this instance, and the impact of the drone against the vehicle can be clearly heard. Dimitrov's liberation continues under the leadership of the 51st Army. Advancing units pressed deeper into the city, securing block after block with steady determination. During the sweep, 12 Ukrainian soldiers were discovered leaving the building where they had been hiding, seeking refuge in another structure nearby. Russian forces called upon them to surrender, offering a chance to lay down arms. Yet the Ukrainian fighters refused, choosing instead to remain entrenched. The refusal underscored the intensity of the struggle, as Russian reporting framed the moment as evidence of both the enemy's desperation and the 51st Army's persistence. The footage highlights the discipline of Russian troops, maintaining pressure while continuing the methodical liberation of Dimitrov. Each encounter adds to the narrative of control and consolidation, reinforcing the image of Russian strength in contested urban terrain. Russian air forces then destroyed the building with FPV bombs. On the Eastern Front, the brave unit continued operations around the encircled city of Myrnograd, advancing methodically block by block. Footage released by Russian sources shows armored vehicles and infantry operating in close coordination, moving against fortified positions and reducing remaining points of resistance. Smoke is visible over damaged structures, reflecting the intensity of fighting and the sustained pace of the advance. At the same time, Russian forces extended activity into the Dnipropetrovsk region, broadening the axis of operations. Reports highlight a controlled and deliberate tempo, combining reconnaissance, artillery support, and infantry movement to maintain pressure across several sectors. These actions are presented as part of a wider effort to consolidate control, with the encirclement of Myrnograd described as a notable stage in the ongoing campaign.